Um, Here's something I thought about doing earlier, but one of my friends actually said, look, can you please go over what to do and more specifically what not to do with Frost? You can be a terrible Frost. Every one of these characters has something different that they do. Has something in their tool set that requires you to play them differently. You can't play everyone the same. You have to look at each one as, even though you've got one individual person controlling them, everyone plays different. Every character plays differently. So, all right, we're gonna run a couple missions, and I'm gonna show what not to do. I don't know what faction we'll go against. Let me just show you some of these. Avalanche, just straight damage. I'm doing this. I got 160 range. Anything under 145, if you just have it at base range, it's not going to be good. For whatever it is that you do, it's not going to be good. He needs range. He needs some range. I got 160 on this. That's enough, because this is basically Avalanche. People get too close, I hit the Avalanche. This Ice Wave is for just general missions that don't require you to protect any objective or whatever, but it's got a little bit of range, and it's got the Ice Wave impedance augment. Leaves a frozen. It slows enemies down. So with the range and them having changed it into like a cone where it goes out instead of before it was just a straight line, makes a huge difference in the ability to crowd control. And then for the infested globe, I just have a lot of range and chilling globe just to slow any infested that come in. And then you're always using it. You know, if too many enemies get inside the globe, you cast it again and it pushes all the enemies out. So that's what that one's for. And then with the addition of the Umbral Intensify, the Umbral mods itself, but with this Umbral Intensify with 44 ability strength, I'm able to get over 100% and still have decent range, decent duration, which isn't for this necessary really. I could probably take that out. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to use this one just to give you an idea of what not to do. With the Gram Prime being the next primed melee weapon, I've got the basic Gram, which by itself it's not great. It was great at the beginning of Warframe, but power creep and all. But it's not bad. I've got a Riven on it. Increases the range, increases the crit chance. The only way I can see the Gram Prime actually being something that people kind of use a lot or go out of their way to try to get is if it's a little bit different than the Galatine Prime. I've got a basic Riven. Because its disposition is horrible. I roll this every once and again, but you're not going to get great stats for it. You're not going to get great stats, and it doesn't really, I could do this. Right? And bumps it up to 44.2. But that's really nothing for what this is. I do have that up. I already have that there. Okay. Yeah. I already did that. So, you know what? We'll leave this one in, just in case. But let's go in and just show a couple of ways that I see people just kind of mangle Frost. Just mangle his kit. We can do this one. This will work. I just don't. I can't even tell you how irritating it is sometimes to watch people use this particular warframe. It's frustrating because they don't understand. And they're just, I'm going to do it this way, and then they die, or they cause you to die, and it's not a good look. Like, this is one way. I'm not going to do it again. Okay, here's a doorway, and somebody casts a snow globe over it. Now, these guys are inside the snow globe shooting at you, and you're, I'm slowing them. No, you're not. You're just making things, it's dumb. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop putting it over the doorways. It's dumb. Stop doing it. Yes, use your ice wave. I'm going to do this just to clear a little space for us.
The reactant is working on your relic.
Just to clear some space. There's one back here. Let's grab that.
Life support incoming.
I hate the turret. Good weapon, but you can't see anything. Yeah, but there's really not really a reason to just throw up random snow globes. Unless you're protecting a specific objective, there's no reason to just throw random snow globes out.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
Use it to slow your enemies. It's going to be different without the augment, but it's still effective. The single one is good. If you're putting it on the ground, it can slow up one enemy. Alright, so there it is back there. I got 9, I need one more.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Right, these guys are all over the map. I do not like that. That's irritating. It's also irritating is when people set off every in-game trap and don't. That's irritating. God, that's irritating. Because if I were to do it, I can promise you people will be bitching and complaining. That's just trolling. Oh, got everybody caught in some nonsense. Yeah, I got everybody, running into radiation.
activated.
Why? There's no reason for anybody to act. We'll do survivals too. We'll do survive at 80% life support or whatever. There's no reason to hit life support. None. None. Kill enemies. Get life support. Alright, so let's say we're doing, you do put up a globe. It's to protect whatever it is. Maybe you don't know to get out of your warframe to revive somebody. Break it with your wand. Just remember you can break it with your wand. That is so important. You have no idea.
Action is available if you need it. The raid is off to a successful. I'll stay with Mirage. She's actually pretty good if you mod her right. I'll do something to Mirage later. He's gonna probably try. Well, can't worry about what he's gonna try to do. Don't forget the reactant. You need more to open the relic. Get ready for a capsule.
He's putting waypoints down. Yeah, do not put anything over doorways. See what these guys are doing. Oh, they already went through.
Life support on the way. Another life support capsule is now available.
Let's go get these. Why are you running behind me with that stupid weapon?
I've delivered another life support capsule.
And that's what you can use freeze for. That one guy. That one tough enemy. And it will freeze him.
Look what our temp operative just found. They could not do this without you. Life support has been replenished.
There's always somebody who, just, I'm going to do it again. Let's see if they do it, because it's just irritating. So you just want to run to extraction, right? Okay. There we go.
Keep fighting. Look for more reactors. Tenno, prepare for life.
I'm not running to extraction.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
I'm not doing it because you're already there.
Life support incoming. Another life support capsule. life support on the way.
There's nothing like the Galatine when Berserker procs on it.
Additional life support has arrived.
Love it.
Prepare for life support. The longer you fight, the more successful we will be.
So, that in a nutshell is how, that's how I use it. Just kind of you can do things however you want to do it. These are just suggestions. But just don't put snow globes over doorways. Don't just put random snow globes up for no reason whatsoever. It's ridiculous. Stop doing it. Stop doing it.
Another support capsule is now available.
You just don't do it. There's no reason to just put random snow globes all over the place. How many? 119. That's not bad for void traces. It's not hard. So, this is what not to do. Now let me see if there's something with, let's see. I wanted to check and see if there's something with infested, so I can give you an idea of how this infested snow globe should work, especially if it's something where it's stationary. Let's see. Okay. Come on. All right. Ice wave, infested globe. All right. I probably could actually get. Let me see. Transient fortitude. That's gotta stay there. Streamline's gotta stay there. She took that out. That knocks it back down to 75. Let's take a look here. Or if we took, I've got some lower ranked cunning drifts. We could put regular continuity in it. You could get away with, because with 300 base armor, you could get away with Hunter Adrenaline or Rage. But Now here's what I'm thinking. To get more range, because Cunning Drift helps, but it's only an additional 15 as far as the ability range. So Augur Reach is here, and that's 30. So let's take that out. Let's put Augur Reach in there, and then we have enough. Let's go to, what do we have here? That's a 9. This is 7, so it's plus 10 ability range. So 230. That's not horrible, and we're not worried about duration as much because this is more focused on the globe. So let's do that. And doesn't matter as far as the Zenistar. I mean, I got a radiation, I got a gas for my stealth frames, because you get that stealth multiplier when they're invisible, and then the enemies run into the gas, it does extra damage to them. Let's leave radiation. We'll leave that. And we got this. Let me just make sure. Sometimes it clicks over on its own. Alright, so we've got the infested globe. Capture infestation. Nope. Okay, let's do this one. Mobile defense infestation. This will give you an idea of how the chilling globe works with, I mean, you're not worried about as much power strength, because this is about just slowing and keeping them out. You don't have to worry about steel fiber and all the other things that combine to make a super strong snow globe, because these enemies don't have, for the most part, except for some of those little flying ones, they don't really have projectiles. Some of the MOAs do, but it's not like bombard rockets or anything. So even at real high levels, they won't just one-shot your globe.
Keep fighting. Look for more. Still working on it. Continue to defend. Terminal spotted. Up with me and prepare to defend. I'm in, Tenno. This will take long. Multiple biosignals detected. We've got
More.
Still working on it. Continue to.
7.
finished here.
Right, and if you start, and I still see it laying back there. If you started picking it up, you got to keep picking it up. Oh, if that's your dog, that's your job to pick him up if he's not close. I'll pick somebody's dog or cat up if they're close, but I'm not doing it if I can't. I can't go out of my way to pick up a virtual pet.
Location reached. Drop me in. Defend our position. Working on it. Continued.
See that little globe? There's no reason for you to put a second globe in there. If you got a frost that's already doing it, you putting your little tiny globe over it's not going to make any difference.
The odds were against us, but we did it. Mission complete.
See a damn thing. Yeah, that. I'll keep the barrel. Okay, so as you can see, that keeps the enemies, especially infested, from getting in close to it. And if you recast it with the range I have on it, they're not going to touch it. You just got to make sure that you don't have those disruptors that take your energy. Because that'll mess you up. You got to kill them, and you got to kill ancients. You got to single them out. So other than that, that's specifically what I wanted to touch on. I'll do some other things later, but I needed to make sure that people see. I mean, you can't just throw random snow globes out. can't throw random snow globes out. Please stop doing that. It's ridiculous. Stop it. Alright? Alright. We'll be back soon. Later.